It's so much easier for me to do this in a video. Okay, so May, we're going to go back to May now, before this whole thing really happened. The end of May, I had the apartment complex doing, like, different things in my apartment that needed to be fixed. And during that time, the maintenance guy changed the air filter on my HVAC unit. And I don't know anything about anything, but I was told that, it should be changed probably once every 6 weeks, maybe 2 months at the most. But I have a dog that is it sheds a lot, that's whatever allergenic, and a lot of dust and pet dander, and it should be a high quality filter, like a HEPA, whatever, and it should be changed probably once a month. So, me not knowing anything, for one, I didn't have access to the HVAC, so I could, for one, I was never told to change it, but even if I couldn't get to it, so, I thought, and then I happened to see the filter when he pulled it out. So, when I saw him pull out the air filter that day, it was bad, it was really bad, and somebody that I'm friends with told me that I hadn't had it changed in I don't know how long. I don't even know if it was ever changed, maybe once when I was living there. And when I saw him pull it out, the maintenance guy that day, it was bad. So I didn't think too much of it. But not long after that, I started smelling the dreaded mold smell. I did not know anywhere where it was coming from. I did not associate the two. I didn't know anything. So last thing I thought was that it was the HVAC. So the apartment complex was offering nothing. Like, they were very negligent. So my dog wasn't eating. She stopped eating, and I just felt kind of crappy. So I hired somebody myself. So not knowing anything, I went on like Thumbtack Angie's List the first time, and hired somebody that was a mold assessor. It was certified by Angie's List. So he came literally that day. And he assessed whatever I do, did a bunch of looking around, and said, yes, there's mold here. Now, obviously, it's not my apartment. I'm not responsible for remediation, so he wrote me up like a estimate of what needed to be done. I gave that to the apartment complex the next day, and I started going back and forth with them. And they were like prolonging this, and the smell was bad. It was like, I got walking my apartment, I hit like a ton of bricks, and I have to live there with my dog. I still at this point did not know where it was coming from. So I gave the estimate to them. They literally did nothing. Came in, said they didn't smell anything, and the maintenance guy came in, said he didn't smell anything, and left. That was it. The smell was really bad. The smell itself gives you somebody. If you've been in long enough. So I'm like, I don't know what to do at this point, because I just signed another lease with them for a whole other year, and they're not offering any assistance. So I'm just like Googling things and asking people what I should do, people that have more insight than I do. And they told me to hire another mold assessor, one that was certified. So I did. This time I went on Thumbtack, and I reached out to a bunch. The first one that got back to me. So I hired another completely different company. And I still don't know where the smell's coming from. I know nothing. Like, it could have been anywhere. So the second mold guy comes, and I think like that weekend or like 5 or 6 days later, and he does not feel good when he's in there. He said his throat was scratchy, which so was mine. I had a lot of other symptoms. That was like the least one, but he did not feel well upon entering. So he was there for a couple hours, did his test that I paid for, and I got the results maybe. So I get his results a couple days later. This is the beginning of June, I think, or towards the middle. And I sent him to the office, who again sends maintenance to my apartment. Doesn't smell anything. So I still don't know where the problem lies. So between like the beginning of June and June 16th, which was the day that I left, I had to, because the smell was so bad. I had somewhere in that period of time established that it was only happening when I was using my air conditioning. And I informed the apartment complex of that too. They had sent some heating and cooling guy who didn't really do much and said, there's no problem here. Oh, he said he refilled the Freon or whatever that stuff's called. Like Freon, I'm not sure what it's called. So he said that after he filled whatever, that should be all set. So the smell didn't go away. This was before June 16th. This was maybe like 5 or 6 days before that. I was FaceTiming a friend of mine who knows a little bit about it, and he said to me, go look at the HVAC unit, like the unit. And I said, I don't have access to that because I don't, it was behind like, my refrigerator had to be pulled out, and there's no way I was doing that. It was like lodged, it was like fit in there, but so in order to get to the unit, that would have to be pulled out completely. And there was a door that was not sealed shut, but the refrigerator sealed it shut. So I had to have somebody help me get that out, a man, pull out the refrigerator, and while I'm on FaceTime with this person, they are telling me what to look at, and I don't know what I'm looking at. And he said, look underneath the unit, there should be like a pan or like a collection thing. And what does that look like? And that time I saw the drain pan, which I've established now is a drain pan, filled with water, not moving. That shouldn't have water in it. He said, get a little cup, put some water in it, and just pour it in there and see if it goes and drains. Which I did, and I videoed that all. It did not drain at all. So I then told the complex that. No, their lackadaisicalness sent out somebody the following week after, right before I left, right before the 16th. I'm pretty sure on these dates, but sent somebody out to drain it. Not fix the issue, drain it. So they drained it, came back. So now I'm like in the process where I have to use the air conditioner. It's so hot outside. And the smell. So it's a constant thing. I literally felt like death. So I got my dogs on the 16th and went to an Airbnb, and I never actually went back and stayed there again. I just stayed at Airbnbs while looking for another apartment. Left my belongings there. Still technically live there, but they were offering no. And then so I kept in contact with them every time something drastic happened. Like I established something and I sent them the videos, and they admitted to the drain pan not draining like it should, and also admitted to the filter not being changed, that they had no idea that it should have been changed more than once a year. The smell was so bad on the 16th when I left, which is why I left, and I literally blew all my savings. During that like 2.5 month period, I was back there periodically. I couldn't use the air conditioning because of the smell. That was obviously, now I had established that's where the problem was coming from. I couldn't use the AC, so I would not be able to be there for a long period of time, but I knew I had stuff to pack, because if I did find a place to move, I still had a lot of things to pack. So I was going back there every couple of days and doing a little bit here, a little bit there. I decided one day to take off. They never bothered to do this. Take off the air registers on the vent things, the covers, just to take a look and see what's behind there. I videoed all that too. There is substantial growth in there. Do I know exactly what it is? No, but it definitely is not clean, and it's very likely mold. So, the mold is coming from somewhere in the air ducts, because my electricity bills over the winter were 3 times what anybody else in my complex that has the same apartment was also, and it was not even warm during. So during the couple months when I would go there periodically to pack and start cleaning or whatever, my mom did come over one day, and we were there that was a long day. We were there for like 13 hours. When my mom left, we almost had to go to the emergency room. She could not see out of her eyes. They were extremely blurry and painful, she said. I actually had to drive because she had a pull over, she couldn't see anything, so I had to drive. She doesn't let me drive, ever. So, I mean, they were better like the next day, but mind you, at this point, we're not using the air conditioning at all. This is literally from packing and like disturbing things that hadn't been disturbed, I guess. That's what we were doing. Also, I will note that I definitely felt like a raspy throat a couple times over the last couple months when I was there. And only when I was there. It didn't happen like prior to me getting in there or after I left. So I just recently found a place. I had to wait a little bit for it, but so I have been packing things there and taking them over either to my storage or to the new place. A little bit at a time because it's tiring, and I just want to get out of there. And upon doing that, I almost went to the hospital the day I filed the claim. I think it was the day I filed this claim, or started the claim anyway, the 24th of August, because I was going through my clothing and just separating it into piles so that, and it was like clothing that I don't wear, that it was for my business, so it would sit undisturbed for. So at the apartment, there's a lot of it. This clothing specifically, it was this clothing I was going through when my chest got so tight and my windpipe started to close. I started to panic, which made it worse. But this clothing specifically, that's what I was doing when this happened. And this clothing has sat without being disturbed at all since January. So it would make more sense that, and it was open, and the opening was on like a rack, big racks. It would make sense that probably, I think, I was warned about mycotoxins and how they can get into stuff, but I was just hoping for the opposite of that, because I can't, my business, I'm already suffering because I've been displaced since beginning of June, literally not being home. But even if I had stayed there, which the smell alone was enough to make somebody sick, I couldn't get out of bed. I felt like I had like COVID times 10, and I kind of thought at first that's what it was before I left. I'm like, I don't see anybody. I spend 24 hours a day home with my dog, which is concerning because I have a bracephalic dog, which on a good day she cannot breathe. So I had to get out of there. But if I had stayed, I couldn't, like, it's been 4 months I haven't even worked. And I spent I just wanted to move on. I just wanted to get out of this place and then deal with this. And I wanted the stuff. I have so much stuff that I worked for, so many things that can't be replaced that I didn't want to lose. So I was just hoping I got it out of there in time and not having used the air conditioning for the last 2 months, but I did. So I don't know if you've spoken to the apartment complex yet. They've admitted to certain things, but do not understand the severity of like the drain pan not draining, the filter not being changed, and I don't think that's the only issue. I think something's in the vents. They did next to nothing as far as even investigating. So I was just trying to get out of there and just move on my life, but literally everything I own is destroyed. I started opening boxes that I packed from there, and because the stuff has been condensed or whatever in a box, as soon as I open the box, I'm coughing. I'm like, and it's not just me, because I had a friend over last night, I was looking for something in a box, and he's like, oh, there's a lot of things I didn't even add on the claim. So, I'm pulling into my house. So there's a lot of things I didn't add because for whatever reason I can't I'm embarrassed because how much I like this is affecting me on top of the stress, but like things I didn't even think about. And I just want to submit the claim so that I can get this process started, because I literally haven't thrown it away, but I need to throw away. I'm sleeping on the floor. I've got no furniture.